Hello and welcome back. Now we will be talking about emotions and what emotions actually are. And there's a difference between the default state and the emotions. And what I mean by that is this. Generally, we have a default state of peace and contentment and ease and restfulness where basically nothing happens. If really nothing happens in our mental and emotional space, this is the state where we rest in. Now, unfortunately, many people have never experienced this default state for like a longer period of time so that they can actually witness that this is what happens. Most of the people, and this is so unfortunate, are constantly pulled out of this state and pulled into emotions. And that's not to say that emotions are bad, it's just something that happens in front of the screen of the default state. Look like that, you know. If you see, imagine just any screen, like a green screen, you know, when you see like the weather forecast, they're actually standing in front of a green screen, in case you didn't know. So they stand in front of the screen and the pictures of the clouds and the sun and everything they are pointing to, they are moving on the screen. So the screen basically is pretty neutral. And the screen has a feeling quality to it, but then there are the emotions on the screen that happens kind of as objects in front of the screen. So why is this important to understand? Emotion is not something we are into all the time. Emotion is something that arises because it has a trigger, you know, a reason why the emotion arises. Then the emotion runs the natural course and then the emotion dissipates again when it's really felt through. You know, when is not allowed to run the natural course and it's kind of stuck and blocked by us not wanting to feel it, by us not being in touch with our feelings, it cannot run the natural course and for that cannot dissipate. Do you see that? So the difference is that the default state does not need anything to be attained. Emotions do need a trigger. You know, the default state is left when you're being triggered into an emotion, and you naturally drop into that again when the emotion has dissipated. So the default state is nothing that you need to attain. It's rather something that kind of not also comes to you, but you could also say yourself, let yourself drop into that because it's already there, this peaceful, content state, the default state. So the difference is really that. Emotions are happening in front of the screen of the default state, and the practice is to learn how to feel all those emotions through, that they run the natural course and then dissipate again, so that we drop into this default state of contentment. And the default state of contentment is really where the fulfillment lies, because then you get to realize that you don't need anything to be fulfilled. You just need to see and look at whatever is there. That is the practice.